citation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Diverting, but I haven't been able to make hands on.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
My apologies.
Evening, Haytham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business, then. Do you see him?
A lawyer is an honest employment, so is mine. Like me too, he acts in a double capacity, both against roads and for. For 'tis but fitting that we should protect and encourage cheats, since we live by 'em.
So, that Mall at set word of trial comes on in the afternoon. But she hopes you will order matters so as to bring her off.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gag, sir, is found
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
This is death without reprieve.
I already have.
For Tom Gag, £40. Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation, or I can get more by her staying in.
Betty hath brought more goods into our locked here than any five of the gang. And in truth, 'tis a pity to lose so good a customer.
If none of the gang take her off, she may, in the common course of business, live her 12 months longer.
1,000 pardons.
I love to let women escape.
So sorry. My apologies.
The end partridges fly, because the breed of the game depends on it. Besides, here the law allows us no reward. There's nothing to be got by the death of women, except our wives.
Without dispute, she is a fine woman, because to her I was obliged for my education. And to say a bold word, she hath trained up more young fellows to the business than the gaming table.
Truly, Filch, thy observation is right. We and the surgeons are more beholden to women than all the professions besides.
Sir, Black Mall at set word of trial comes on in the afternoon, and she hopes you will order matters so as to bring her off.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy her that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gag, sir, is found guilty.
A lazy dog. When I took him the time before, I told him what would come to if he did not mend his hand. This is death without reprieve. I may mention a book. For Tom Gag, £40. Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation, or I can get more by her staying in.
Betty hath brought more goods into our locked here than any five of the gang. And in truth, 'tis a pity to lose so good a customer.
If none of the gang take her off, she may, in the common course of business, live her 12 months longer. I love to let women escape. A good sportsman always lets the end partridges fly, because the breed of the game depends on it. Besides, here the law allows us no reward. There's nothing to be got by the death of women, except our wives.
Without dispute, she is a fine woman, because to her I was obliged for my education. And to say a bold word, she hath trained up more young fellows to the business than the gaming table.
Truly, Filch, thine observation is right. We as the surgeons are more beholden to women than all the professions besides.
Sir, that call that sick word of trial comes on in the afternoon, and she hopes to report her matters so as to bring on.
As the wench is very active and industrious, we may say
Tis woman that seduces all mankind, like her we first were taught our evening arms. Her very life is sweet, when thy teeth fall. She tricks us of our money in her arms. Tis woman that seduces all mankind, like her we first were taught our evening arms. Her very life is sweet, when thy teeth fall. She tricks us of our money with her arms. Over a moonlight night, we roam for prey, and practice every course to bribe. Back from pain, and I know what I pay, and here he must be feeding to our hearts. Over a moonlight night, we roam for prey, and practice every course to bribe a shot. Pursuits of love like law are what I pay, and here he must be feeding to our hearts.
I make haste and use it, boy, and let me friends know what I intend. I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But always, for 'tis a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort to friends in affliction.
Boy, and let me friends know what I intend. I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But I'll away, for 'tis a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort to friends in affliction.
But 'tis now high time to look about me for a decent execution against next session. I ain't a lazy rogue by whom one can get nothing till he's hanged. A register of the gang. Crook-fingered Jack. A year and a half in the service. Let me see how much the stock owes to his industry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold watches. And 7 silver ones. A mighty clean-handed fellow. 16 snuff boxes. 5 of them true gold. 6 dozen of handkerchiefs. 4 silver hilted swords.
Flying in!
Half a dozen of shirts. 3 tie periwigs. And a piece of broadcloth. Considering these are only the fruits of his leisure hours, I don't know a prettier fellow. Boy, and let me friends know what I intend. I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But I'll away, for 'tis a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort to friends in affliction.
But 'tis now high time to look about me for a decent execution against next session. I ain't a lazy rogue by whom one can get nothing till he's hanged. A register of the gang. Crook-fingered Jack. A year and a half in the service. Let me see how much the stock owes to his industry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold watches. And 7 silver ones. A mighty clean-handed fellow. 16 snuff boxes. 5 of them true gold. 6 dozen of handkerchiefs. 4 silver hilted swords. Half a dozen of shirts. 3 tie periwigs. And a piece of broadcloth. Considering these are only the fruits of his leisure hours, I don't know a prettier fellow. But no man alive hath a more engaging presence of mind upon the road. What dreary, alias Brown Will, an irregular dog, who has an underhanded way of disposing of his goods. I'll try him only for a session or two longer upon his good behaviour. Harry Paddington, a poor petty larceny rascal, without the least genius. That fellow, though he were to live these 6 months, will never come to the gallows for any credit. Slippery Sam, he goes off next sessions, for the villain hath the impudence to have views of following his trade as a tailor, which he calls an honest employment. Matt of the Mint, listed not above a month ago, a promising sturdy fellow, and diligent in his way. Somewhat too bold and angry, and may raise good questions in the public if he does not cut himself short by murder. Tom Tipple, a guzzling, soaking sot, who's always too drunk to stand himself or to make others stand. What is absolutely necessary for him. Robbing a bag shot, alias Gorgon, alias Fluff Bob, alias Carbuncle, alias Bob Booty.
What of Bob Booty, husband? I hope nothing bad hath betided him. You know, my dear, he's a favourite customer of mine. 'Twas he made me a present of this ring.
I've set his name down in the blacklist. That's all, my dear. He spends his life among women, and as soon as his money's gone, one or other of the ladies will hang him for the reward. And there's £40 lost to us forever.
You know, my dear, I never meddle in matters of death. I always leave those affairs to you. Women indeed are bitter bad judges in these cases, for they are so partial to the brave that they think every man handsome who's going to the camp or the gallows.
But make haste to Newgate, boy, and let me friends know what I intend. For I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But I'll away. But 'tis a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort to friends in affliction.
But 'tis now high time to look about me for a decent execution against next sessions. I ain't a lazy rogue by whom one can get nothing till he's hanged. A register of the gang. Crook-fingered Jack. A year and a half in the service. Let me see how much the stock owes to his industry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold watches. And 7 silver ones. 3 damaged fellows. 16 snuff boxes. 5 of them true gold. 6 dozen of handkerchiefs.
Really burning up
4
the boards
silver
tonight.
swords. Half a dozen of shirts. 3 tie periwigs. And a piece of broadcloth. Considering these are only the fruits of his leisure hours, I don't know a prettier fellow. But no man alive hath a more engaging presence of mind upon the road. What dreary, alias Brown Will, an irregular dog, who has an underhanded way of disposing of his goods. I'll try him only for a session or two longer upon his good behaviour. Harry Paddington, a poor petty larceny rascal, without the least genius. That fellow, though he were to live these 6 months, will never come to the gallows for any credit. Slippery Sam, he goes off next sessions, for the villain hath the impudence to have views of following his trade as a tailor, which he calls an honest employment. Matt of the Mint, listed not above a month.
Yes. But then you would have known.
I need to get out. It's too close in here. I must get some air.
Calm yourself. I won't let you go until you're done.
I think I'd raise horses.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
Fascinating. Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that to be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them. Take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you will want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We've booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn. Go forth, Hatham, and bring honor to us all.